All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another Courtesy Flush. Tonight we're going to be playing a new game, but not really new. It came out in 1998, and joining me, of course, is Naresar.
Hello, hello.
That's right. And now he's playing. Let me just bring him down. Here we go. Anyway, we were looking at a bunch of different games to play, and we decided that Alan Wake is done. We just decided it's finished. We beat it. There's another chapter that probably tells something about the story, but we're at the point where we're just like, we're good. I believe Alan Wake's a good game, but we are done playing it. If that makes any sense. Anyway, tonight we're going to be playing a game on the Windows 95 platform, which actually, this game came out in 1998. It is set in 1941 Cleveland. It was made by Take-Two Interactive. Yes, the same people. And it has the billing on the front cover of Dennis Hopper being the starring character, which I know that not to be true because the main character is a totally different person. I'm assuming Dennis Hopper is somewhere in the game. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a little gas right there. Apologies. Yeah, he's like a little bit later in the game, but now it's like, well, why did you put him on the cover? Well, I forgot, because that was an era where they would just, put Hollywood actors on the front cover to sell their game. And I don't know if that helped.
Who's going to tell you that he's not in the game? The internet doesn't exist. You have to buy it and
look at the back of the box, and you see him sitting there looking sad. Yeah, no, that's how I know it's one of those. But from what I've tested and from what I've read about it, I've not beat this game. I don't know what you're in for, but I know something about it, only because some of the puzzles in this game have been labeled as some of the hardest, because they require some decent amounts of geometry, math, and a bit of paperwork knowledge, a little bit. You have to be, so it's almost like it was designed by a teacher, almost. And since Nick follows into that category quite well, I can't wait to see how he does in this game. And I'll tell you one thing. When I was testing this game, Nick, I found a weird puzzle in the first room that I spawn into. I think it was his office. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I'll let you find it yourself. If you don't, I'll tell you where it's at. But it was hidden. It was hidden, but it was hidden poorly because I'm one of those weirdos that checks all the nooks and crannies. And when I picked it up, I was like, oh, cool, an item. And then it was like a huge puzzle, and I was like, nope, that's not me. That's all Nick right there. That says Nick all over that. So I can't wait to see what you do. That's right. All right, so let's go ahead and load this game up. Let's bring it on over here. Bring you down. There we go. I don't know why it keeps making you fly, but there we go. Windows 95. That is what we are going to be playing on today. There we go. All right, Nick, you have control. Now we just have to wait for Windows 95 to finish booting up, because back then you had to do that.
I feel like, that Obi-Wan meme of, Windows 95. There's a name that I have not heard in a long time.
In a long, long time, in a galaxy far, far away. That's right, we were actually at 95 versions of Windows. And 98. We stopped after 98. It was too powerful. Permastash, Windows Blue Screen edition, Special Edition, yes.
Oh boy, this is, hold
on. It's slow, right? You need to increase your DPI on your own computer.
No, so mine is just cycles through.
Mm-hmm.
And so where I usually have it set for my computer, that just was zipping across the screen, and it's like, oh, yeah. No, this is a bit much.
We're at 640 by 480, so yeah, you need a little less mouse room. And there it is.
It's a little bit more square, but that's like between a half and a third.
This is the main menu.
The size of like a normal screen nowadays. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the black borders you're seeing, that's just the resolution of the intro is not the same as the rest of the game. Don't know why. Only I nerded about that. Anyway, let's hit new game and see what happens. Autumn 1941. The United States teeters on the brink of world war. As Nazi fanatics spin their plots of world conquest from the smoking ruins of Europe, Most Americans took little notice of a brutal serial killer stalking the country's heartland. What follows is inspired by actual events. Ah, yes. Hasn't changed a bit. Cleveland.
Actually, I was going to say, they probably just went out with a camera and filmed that for the game.
I don't know what's going on with the audio. It was working fine a second ago. Yeah. Let's try that again, Nick.
Okay.
Let's try that again. This time without the game glitching out. Let me just make sure that we have a decent amount of CPU cycles, I'm guessing. Okay. Normal speed. Let's try that again. I don't know what that was all about. That was weird. They didn't even need to use a sepia filter. It's just natural Cleveland atmosphere. Yeah, exactly. Everything's just yellow in Cleveland. Now, actually...
I mean, you laugh, but
yeah.
I have seen a picture of what at the time was Clark Avenue Bridge, and it just kind of looked like that.
Oh, yeah. Now it's working. I don't know what happened. Windows 95, just turn it on and off again.
Dies Lied ist aus der Sehnsucht süßer Schrei. Oh, God. Someone gave that kid a hand and he didn't want it. The video, it's distorting, Captain. Okay, cool. I'm assuming the audio and video is not supposed to be out of sync, but, you know, we're here now.
Come in.
Reporting for work, sir.
Relax, son. This isn't the academy.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Sullivan will do just fine. I think you'll find that the COI is a bit more informal than your other branches of government. Now, let's set you to work. Some city detectives sent this complaint over to us. It should be pretty straightforward. If you have any questions about the assignment, don't hesitate to ask. The door's always open, son.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Sullivan.
What is it, Mr. Pearson? Oh, yes, of course, your office. It's across the hall. And Please forgive the mess. Your predecessor departed rather unexpectedly, and we're still short-staffed and haven't had a chance to clear it out for you.
Every job I've ever worked at is like
things
this.
On your own. It's something you're going to have to get used to with the COI.
Every job I've ever had.
President Roosevelt had just authorized the formation of the COI that summer. They were supposed to be the outfit that handled the real spy stuff overseas. It was the place to be if you wanted real adventure. At least that was the bill of goods the recruiters for the COI sold me. And here I was, stuck in a crummy old office, in Cleveland of all places, as far away from any real action as I could imagine.
The look on his face is priceless.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and we're just gonna save it right here. And I'm gonna restart the game just to make sure that the audio is working, because now I'm not hearing music. I'm assuming it works because it worked a second ago. We're gonna find out though. Yeah, there's music. Okay. So the way this game works, Nick, is you just click the left mouse button and you drag. And if you drag too fast, you spin in a circle, so just kind of be gentle with it. The spinning circle thing means that there's nothing to click on, but if you see an icon turn from this to say that, means you can click on this.
Gotcha.
Standard affair, so you just kind of look at stuff and move around.
And Erdanya, I do believe this is Tex Murphy's ancestor. I don't know, Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio Murphy? We'll go with Ohio Murphy.
Ohio Murphy.
No, I guess he did have. We were given his name a second ago, but you know, we're just gonna
Peterson
roll with Ohio Murphy
or something.
Peterson.
I forget.
Okay.
Whatever his name. Sullivan, Peterson, somebody. We'll figure his name out. We can look at
I
his
think
wallet.
Sullivan is the boss. I think Peterson is us. So Ohio Peterson. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. He sounds like, honestly, he sounds like Indiana Jones now.
Oops.
We do have a notebook. Now, the notebook, from what I understand, in every part of the manual, it's like you can take your own notes here, but the character in the game does that, so it's best not to overwrite what he writes, because we're going to get stuck, apparently.
Oh, I'm mixing up my left and my right. Anyways,
That's weird. A guy who works for the government has all these weird artifacts laying around his room. I'm sure that means nothing.
What up? Oops. Keep doing that.
Yep, just left mouse to drag. Left mouse for everything. It's a simple game.
I don't know why, but I keep trying to do right mouse to move, and like you literally told me.
Yeah, no, it's just, you know, that's why I think this office is perfect to learn all these in. Yeah, we're doing all right.
And just a skull for some reason. And, you know, this is the era before plastic, so I'm sure that's just some poor sucker's skull.
Yeah, we found it in a tomb over in Egypt. They said it was cursed, but, I mean, come on. We're in Cleveland. How cursed can it get?
It's like the opposite of Gotham, where, like,
oh
wait.
Look, the gamma went up by, like, half a point. Awesome.
It's like the opposite of Gotham, that like you have about 16 different curses stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
And they all more or less cancel out.
Look at this animation, Nick. 1998 was the place to be. There were totally no other games that was worth playing at this time. I wonder why this game didn't make it. 98 was like 97 and 98 was an amazing year for video games, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Anybody young enough not knowing that. A lot of classics came out.
I mean, I was alive at the time, but I wasn't really into computer games that much. Were we? I'm trying to remember, because like Lego Island was one of the first games I bought when we bought our first computer. And then I think my parents had to get like an extra video card or something to run it.
My pack remembers 98. Yeah. Yeah, so does mine. I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I'm doing okay because I'm playing this game. I'm not laying in bed.
Anyways, I should probably read this for the color commentary. President Roosevelt today signed an executive order creating the Office of the Coordinator of Information, COI. In the president's own words, the new agency is to collect and analyze all the information and data about which may bear upon national security, to correlate such information and data and make the same available to the president and to such departments and officials of government as the president may determine, and to carry out, when requested by the president, such supplementary activities as may facilitate the securing of information important for national security not now available to the government. Mr. Roosevelt has named Colonel William Wild Bill Donovan, hero of the Great War and sometime unofficial presidential envoy, to head the new agency. Word of COI's creation and Donovan's appointment has provoked a storm of protest from isolationists and existing intelligence services. There are rumors here that Colonel Donovan is to be the new Heinrich Himmler, or an American
Gestapo.
Through the president, though the president insists that the coordinator of information will serve no such role. FBI Director Hoover could not be reached for comment about the COI, though sources within the Bureau indicate that he is furious over its creation and that the new agency can expect little cooperation from his agents.
Also, the FBI doesn't like us. Boo-hoo. Well, guess who's going to be hunting Nazis? We are. Eat it, FBI. We're the best. Oh, God. I'll read this one. The magic chink in Hitler's armor, a preliminary report. Contacts within the British intelligence community report that Nazi Fuhrer and many of his closest supporters are avid devotees to mysticism. Hey, I played Wolfenstein. You have to pardon me. I'm a little more gassier tonight.
Indiana Jones, so okay. Water wet. News at 11.
Yeah. This fascination is said to have played a key role in the recent capture of Rudolf Hess, who now resides safely in an English prison. Hess, the second in line for the Nazi succession, was apprehended this spring after parachuting into Scotland under a flag of truce. I don't know why, it's just funny to me that everyone in Scotland look it up like, what the fuck is that? Is that a guy fucking falling? Is that someone falling from the sky? Sources within MI6 contend that elaborate British intelligence operation was instrumental in convincing Hess to make his ill-fated journey. We are told that his capture was accomplished through subtle modifications to real astrological forecasts, which were then smuggled into Germany. Apparently, Hess, an avid follower of astrology, became convinced that these forecasts indicated the time was ripe for a negotiated peace with Britain. Wow. They just went on vibes, okay? Acting on his own and with the absolute faith in his occult science, Hess flew to Scotland, where he believed that he would become a hero for ending the war in Europe. Spoiler alert, that didn't work. Even the... I don't know if it did in this game, but just in real life. Before the rise of the Nazis, Hess and other influential members of Hitler's inner circle were members of such Aryan Theosophical,
I think?
Yeah, theosophical. That's a word I've never used before. Theosophical organizations to the Germanorden and Thule Society. Germanorden. Okay. So it's like Norse, German, and Thule Society. Okay, so this is like a Norse thing. These groups and many others just like them were quite common in Germany after the conclusion of the Great War and continued to proliferate throughout the years during the years of the Weimar Republic. They became hotbeds for nationalist unrest, historical revisionism, and virulent anti-Semitism. From these groups came many future Nazis, along with much of their rhetoric and regalia, such as the swastika. Despite Hitler's official ban on these organizations after his rise to power, which drove many of their founders, such as von Sebottendorf and Eisenstadt, to exile, Sources within the Reich indicate that there is still a strong penchant for belief in these crazy pseudosciences among the high-ranking Nazi officials. The strength of these beliefs may be used to our advantage, as the British have already proven in the case of Rudolf Hess. Heinrich Himmler. Wow, okay, I don't know if we... this is a pretty... I don't know if you guys know your history, but this guy's kind of important. One of the most likely subjects for future operations of this nature is head of Hitler's secret forces, Heinrich Himmler. British intelligence reports that there is within his SS NERB, an agency dedicated to the investigation of ancestral origins. Ah, yes. A separate department whose job it is to conduct serious and dedicated research into mysticism, supernatural phenomenon, and occult theories. Beyond this, Himmler is as a known devotee to weird pseudo-religion of his own creation and combines elements of medieval ritual, pagan myth, and modern occult practices. He has refurbished an ancient monastery in Wawelsburg at great expense, turning it into his own version of a knight's castle. He is said to meet there with his council of Black Knights, highly ranking SS officer, on a regular basis to discuss matters of spiritual significance and hold seances which long-dead Aryan heroes are contacted. Yes, and I killed them in Wolfenstein, by the way. That was a fun... Return to Castle Wolfenstein is an excellent game. I love it. Still have it installed on my computer and all my other computers. I'm a weirdo. Anyway, one report contends that the whole place is set up to resemble the court of the famous King Arthur, complete with massive round table, and others says that a bizarre satanic chapel has been constructed beneath the monastery where human sacrifices are made. Okay, so they're just kind of throwing a wide net on occult stuff and just seeing what sticks, because none of these things are really related that much, other than they scare people and there's a lot of myth and urban legend behind it. So it's kind of like he just did his own version of Wikipedia on the occult and just went, yeah, just do all of it and see what happens. How valid these reports may be is subject to debate, but there is no doubt that Himmler considers himself to be a spirit channeler. Okay. In example, one, though, through whom the dead may speak, and claims to be a reincarnation of King Heinrich I. Ah, yes, the same guy I killed in Castle Wolfenstein. I came back from the dead, and I shot him with a Thompson submachine gun. They all fall to hardball. German monarch ruled 919 to 936 AD. There is evidence that Hitler shares this lieutenant's convictions in this area, and that he believes himself to be the reincarnation of Ludolf of Capua, 9th century tyrant and sorcerer? Question mark? I don't know why they put that there. I was just going to say, you could tell, especially at the late stages of the war, you could tell him anything, he'd probably believe you. He was not a mentally stable person, obviously. So it's not hard to believe he actually thought like he was really the reincarnation of the Landolf of Capua. Anyway, whether or not all of these allegations can be proven, and despite the fact that most normal Americans will find these stories and religions hard to swallow, there is a definite possibility that these occult beliefs may provide us with valuable covert weapons in the event that the United States finds itself involved in a direct conflict with Nazi Germany, which we were actually considering, but it isn't until Pearl Harbor that we do it. Hopefully I'm right about that.
No, you're right, because it's a weird series of events. Because if I'm remembering my early war history, and I say early, I should say early U.S. involvement in the war. Obviously, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. Congress declares war on Japan. Japan has a kind of alliance with Germany, and so Hitler, probably against some people's better judgment, actually then declares war on U.S., which allows U.S. to freely declare war on Germany and kind of have that.
Yeah, they were playing around with the idea for a couple years, and then, Japan attacks, and now everybody's involved. So we're kind of like before that. We're actually in the autumn of 1941, so it's obviously really close to Pearl Harbor at this point.
Yeah. Tensions are high.
Yeah.
Shots have not been fired by the U.S. Obviously,
not on paper. Yes. Yeah.
The war has been going on in Europe for a couple years at this point, and the war in Asia like Japan's invasion of China has been going on for several years before that even.
Yeah.
Anyways, things.
Yeah, this is right around the time where the U.S. was just like, man, I really hope they attack Russia because I can't wait to see what happens when they do that. Spoiler alert. Next time, bring some warm boots, boys. Russia's a cold place. Anyway, change bulb and ceiling light, get new boots, get a good stiff drink, check post office box, contact jeweler, phone Cassie, withdraw money, return library books. Number 1 is return library. Like, that's the first thing. This man is a good person. Always return your library books.
So unchecked is check back with Professor Strauss.
Okay. Clean
Who knows
office.
what that's about, and obviously clean office.
That's on my to-do list everywhere. Also, I do know that there's... Yes, okay, I was going to say, I do note the one of the things that I took note was that you can drag items around. This is not expressly written down anywhere. The only reason why I know this is because I saw someone else doing it when they were showing the intro for this game. And I was like, oh, wait, you can move stuff? And when I was doing a test, I was like, how the did they do it? And it took me a minute, but here you go. This would have stumped us for sure, because this is not written down as far as I know, unless I just read it.
Do you just click? Okay, so you just click hold drag. Oops.
Yeah.
That's
okay. We're gonna do that a lot in this game, I could tell.
Okay, so
and also for the next game, Nick, I'm gonna start taking notes. I'm taking notes now, but on the next game, I'm gonna start printing stuff.
This might come in handy.
I'm going to print stuff so that way we can actually have a printed version of all the documents we'll see in this game, because all the screenshots I saw showed a lot of documents and no way to save them. So I'm going to print them for real, because why not? Got a printer at home? Just use it. If not now, when? Don't wait until you have to redo your car insurance or whatever. DJ paper.
Oh, we can call. Interesting.
There's a map of Ohio.
Yeah, come back here. Come back.
I did turn the spinning down to the lowest setting I could. This game has got a very broken spinning thing. That's
fine. I just need to figure out, kind of get used to it.
There's actually a little Easter egg that I found when I first played this game when you spin a lot. I'll let you discover what happens.
Okay, so that sounds like we need to test this now.
Oh, God.
Whee!
Do
you mind? Would you cut that out?
Jackass. Oh, I already love this game. See, that's the first thing I noticed, because I was like unable to control the spinning, and that was the first cutscene I'd ever seen in the game, and I was like, okay, I gotta play this game now. All right, Nick, you read this one. This is the 5th column Lessons for America from the Office of Coordinator and of Information, COI.
Okay, published by the Office of Coordinator of Information, Research and Analysis Division, Dr. William L. Langer, Director.
Oh, God.
What we're up against. Spying, sabotage, and propaganda are all common tools in the Nazi war chest. Even before 1939, there are confirmed cases of Abwehr, I think. Spy rings operating in Latin America, the United States, Great Britain, Soviet Russia, France, and the neutral countries of Europe.
Abwehr, I think is what it's pronounced. I'm trying to learn German. I'm actually trying to learn
the
German.
W's as V's.
Yeah, for English speaking, for them, you
and that sounds more in lines of things that I have heard pronounced, but
the way they pronounce W's is not exactly a V, but it's the best way for non-native people to pronounce it. It's but it's close enough.
Not only do these secret agents gather information for their Nazi masters, they also disrupt commerce and communications through subtle sabotage and the dissemination of lies and misleading rumors. The purpose of this booklet is to educate Americans about the potential dangers of Abwehr infiltration and to teach you how to be prevented where absent and
root it out where it already exists.
And root it out where it already exists.
You also, I just must have, everyone says passing gas is farting, but I think I may have just passed the gas I had internally to you, because now you're hiccuping.
To date, the ultimate masterpiece of Nazi 5th column activities is unquestionably the debacle in France that occurred last spring, where Hitler panicked the French soldiers with false couriers carrying phony orders and special forces disguised as Dutch infantry. He demoralized their officers by surprise attacks and dirty tricks, like dressing his paratroopers up as Catholic nuns to sow panic behind the lines. He bewildered the French general staff with the daring of his strategic planning, which was aided by detailed intelligence supplied by pro-Nazi spies throughout the countryside. In the words of French General Henry Girard, these fifth column operatives plied their trade admirably, sowed terror, propagated demoralization, encouraged desertion. In short, they were one of the main causes of French military disintegration.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I don't know if you've ever seen Casablanca, but it covers that because that movie actually came out before we got into the war, which makes it more interesting to watch.
A lot of people who had fled Europe.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting reading once you know that.
Honestly, like when I first saw it as a kid, I was like, oh, this movie looks boring. But like watching it as an adult, I was like, holy shit, this is an amazing piece of filmmaking for 1941, I believe, or 1940. Yeah, they released that movie before Japan attacked. Like they were like, please come join the war before France and Morocco, all these places are gone. And Japan was just like, okay, hold my sake. No, they have beer. They have beer. Every culture does.
I think it's
sochu.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The civilian population of France received no better treatment. Herr Goebbels' persistent slander machine browbeat them with his radio propaganda, which spread defeatism and insisted that France had been betrayed by her ally Great Britain. Horrible rumors were spread through towns and villages, augmented by mysterious reports of massacre and mayhem over the wireless. All these were designed to flush the refugees into streets to clog roads desperately needed for military transport. And when highways were congested with terrified civilians, Hitler sent in the Luftwaffe to strafe them with machine gun fire to increase their panic. History stands as witness to impartial and stern to the overwhelming success of these tactics. France fell in an unprecedented 43 days, and now Great Britain stands alone. If she too is defeated, there will be no barrier between Hitler's armies and American shores, and when that day comes, will we not be prepared? Hadn't Barbarossa, aka German invasion of Russia, already happened at this point?
Yeah, and also, even if they did, like, this was a scare everybody had back then, but, like, America's a massive landmass. If you look at it on a map, it doesn't look that big, but we're massive. Good luck. Have fun with it. The British learned that a long time ago. They're like, look, if you want to go over there and fuck with America, we tried that. Doesn't work. Not because they're tough, but because there's just too much fucking land here. Like, there's not enough people to cover it.
There's a lot to be said about our, like, part of the reason why the U.S. does so well post-war is because there's a whole bunch of ocean between us and everybody else, which meant that nothing was really touching the U.S., like war-wise.
I'm gonna adjust something on the screen, so that's why I was.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking.
And and also like all of the materials were basically already in country, so it wasn't like we had to rely on trade to like UK. Like they had to bring everything in they needed by ship practically. We didn't have to do that too much, except for rubber, which was kind of a problem because that was kind of one of the things that Japan took away when they went on their whole empire building spree post Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Yeah, Sapporo and Asahi. I've never actually had the second one. I've had Sapporo though. I'm not a beer person, but I do like to sample. I just haven't found a beer I like that I think is good.
So what can you do? Think. Don't panic.
Ah! Oh, sorry.
Irresponsible rumors can be one of the enemy's greatest weapons. Don't aid America's foe by playing into their hands. If you hear a crazy or defeatist story, don't believe it. And whatever you do, don't pass it on. Be vigilant. If you see something or strange or someone who just seems a bit out of the ordinary, report it immediately to your local authorities. Don't be embarrassed. It's far better to err on the side of caution than to let a potential spy get away.
Yeah, we fought a war in easy mode. The hard part was getting... I would not say that we fought an easy war. At least in Europe, it was not. The hard part was getting all the stuff to Europe. But like I'm talking about Japan, no, that was not an easy war. They didn't make it easy for us.
There's a podcast, and they post to YouTube as well. The Unauthorized History of the Pacific War.
Yeah.
I've been listening over the last couple days to the Okinawa episodes, and I am like, never before I had such an understanding of why U.S. dropped an atomic bomb, actually two, on Japan. It's like, yeah, that was bad. That was very bad.
Yeah, their
anyways.
their defenses were so horrific to like they were just going out and antagonizing and then hiding behind incredibly robust defenses. So like they were like, well, we need to have like a super bomb if we're gonna take them out. And they're like, well, just bomb their cities, because back then everybody was losing their fucking mind. I'm glad it's over.
Anyways,
I don't want a sequel.
Anyways, keep secrets secret. No matter how trivial information seems or how well you think you know your favorite gossip partner, if you know something that you think the enemy can use, keep it to yourself. A small tidbit of a story about what new equipment is being installed down at the local manufacturing plant, or where your soldier boyfriend last wrote you from, could be valuable to the enemy and deadly to your friends and family. Be prepared. Or wait, no. Be prepared. An informed and well-educated populace is much less likely to succumb to fifth column slander and panic mongering than one that is ignorant of facts. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for official government bulletins and radio broadcasts. These will give you the straight dope on what's going on in the world around you and let you know how you can best serve your country should an emergency arise. With vigilance, courage, and determination, we can all work together to keep our country strong and the world safe for freedom and democracy.
Well, a lot of people did not keep their mouth shut. So, yeah, it was a nice try.
Was that? Hold on.
This is a nice little introduction letter. Someone did some good work on this.
That is the end of it, seemingly.
Let's check out the case folders. The whatever that thing is at the file cabinet. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, you have to find where the spinning rune is, and then you can drag. You know what I'm going to do, Nick?
I wonder what sort of artifacts Mr. Pensky wanted Professor Strauss to look at.
Hold on one sec. What I'm going to do for the next game, because I've got some other stuff I want to do for this stream. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the spinning, this thing. I'm removing this. I'm just going to make it a flat thing, because the game has all of its game files completely uncompressed. So I could just change graphics out anywhere I want to, including any of the backgrounds or movie files. I can't change the way the game interprets the movie files. That's just part of the engine. So, like, you know, those little scan lines, that's in engine. I can't make, like, the actual videos that you can actually get from the game are not, they don't have those lines in them. It's just the way the game interprets them, and there's nothing I can do aside from put a filter on it. And I tried one, but the problem is it made all of this text unreadable, because then it just became a giant blurry mess. Even though the videos look great, everything else looked blurry. Okay, so this one is from September 12th, 1941. This is like, we're not even a month away from from Pearl Harbor. In that time,
we're a couple months.
Yeah, in that time,
October, November, December.
Yeah, in that time there was a great jarl among Volsung. Ulduff was called an eightling of independent mind, who together with his ealdorman caused a ritual to be prepared that would summon the chief of the Aesir to his presence, so that his people might worship as they had of old. So then, at the feast of Yule, when the regular gifts were presented, a special purpose was devised that would accomplish their resolve. I'm just going to skip through this. This is all really interesting. This is probably stuff we'll need to read, but we just got in the office. What is this in? This is like somebody's notes that we're just reading through, and it's like, okay, what does it mean? We'll come back to that.
Okay.
I thought there'd be something more there.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no, that's still the top one. And it's just, okay.
Oh, you saying will there be cheese commercials inserted? I wonder.
Cheese, glorious cheese.
Go ahead, pile it on.
It's the heart of a pizza.
Pile
there
on
was a-
some more.
Cheese, glorious cheese.
Keep it on frozen pizza.
Try adding some extra.
After all, it's National Pizza Week.
Cheese, mountains of cheese, oodles of cheese. Glorious cheese.
There was a split second there that when I clicked on the pot that I assumed like the stringer of music that was starting was like, oh, this is something obviously important. And it probably is like some important clue, but no, that was just
I timed it perfectly with you clicking. I didn't mean to, but that's awesome. Yeah, no, I have a whole bunch of weird commercials, including the cheese. Yes, I have it. I actually have a bunch of stuff. I actually have an Acura commercial, a bunch of other stuff. But no, I wanted to do something fun for this stream. I have a cool idea that I want to attempt. It's going to be a little analog, but that'll be next week because I'm still in the process of cleaning my room so I can have space to do it in. I want to be weird on my streams. I have that privilege.
bunch of books. I can't
Fairy
see
Queen.
any purpose right now. The
Someone
White
was
Company I'm not familiar with.
a lot of German folklore and Norse mythology stuff.
10 Days That Shook the World. That's, I feel like I should know that.
I'll look it up for you. You take a
Okay.
look around the office. What was the name of the
Okay.
title?
10 Days That Shook the World.
Got it. I hope in the future they make like old people phones. You know how like they have those flip phones these days that you can get for an older person? I want that for me, but it's like the flip out keyboard. I want those back. Yeah, it's a book. 10 Days That Shook the World is a book by American journalist and socialist John Reed. Reed presented a first-hand account of the 1917 Russian October Revolution. Reed followed many of the most prominent Bolsheviks during the time in Russia. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
he's studying some German history or Russian history essays. Trying to keep on top of. Yeah, analog is best. I agree.
Interesting.
If I had a portal to Kaysen's house, we would be making a lot of weird technological 1980s nonsense. And then the government would shut me down because I have a portal in my house. But, you know, it could be fun.
What's... There's paper on the ground, but I can't seem...
It doesn't
Yes,
seem
I'm
like it's
assuming
probably
it's
not
paper.
important. If it's important, they'll let you click on it.
I recognize this as a fact.
Nick, if
That
you
doesn't
want, I
change the
could.
fact that,
Next
like-
game, I'll just remove it off the floor for you. How about that? Next game, do you want me to remove it off the floor? Do you want me to level out the map for you while I'm at it? Because I
No,
looked in the
no.
game files, and this whole scene that you're looking at is just one giant panorama. And I could just Photoshop stuff in there if you want. I can fix it for you. I could get rid of the trash off the floor. Like I clean up his
No,
office for you.
I'm sure that is unnecessary.
Okay, fair enough.
It's
silly. It's
sends
fun.
My like adventure gaming instincts into a tizzy because like there's something there and I'm too used to the piecing together of papers puzzle thing.
Yeah, and also,
Um,
from what I understand, the creators of this game were big fans of Gabriel Knight and Under a Killing Moon. Apparently, there's references to those games in here somewhere. But that was all under the random facts part of the game's information. Is there anything in that gun, by the way, that you picked up? Can you look at it? Make sure it's actually loaded.
Actually, where is our inventory? How inventory?
Ah, there.
Inventory. There we go. Badge.
Let's open it. Oh, it's one of these games where you have to spin objects around.
My lucky St. Christopher's medal. I've had it since I was a kid.
Interesting.
St. Christopher protect us. That's what that. I had one too. I gave it away a long time ago to a friend, but I used to have it in my wallet all the time too. I didn't know that's what that was for. It was something I found when I was mowing the lawn once, and I thought it looked really cool, so I just put it in my wallet.
Yeah, that's Catholic thing.
I figured as much. All right, so here's our case file.
Case file. Okay. Thule Awakens.
And then you can apparently you can drag the mouse up and down.
Oh. Can we go back a page?
You probably have to click the page itself on the right there to restart this. Up here, yeah.
I see what you mean.
But first thing I want to see is this thing freaking load. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, well I'll take it. I was trying to turn it around. I guess it's not.
Oddly enough, I was looking for a key, and now we have one.
Key from gun. Looks like a key from a gun. I was just trying to turn it around, see if it was loaded, but I'll take that.
They actually can we see?
Doesn't look loaded.
I don't know.
It's a little 38.
I don't know how long a 38 usually is.
Yeah, this is a 3D model of one, so probably not to exact measurement. But I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it won't let me do that now that you did that. Anyways, case
See,
file.
I thought maybe you could spin items around in that. I guess I was wrong.
The time of struggle is now at hand. No longer will parliaments determine the fate of the people. In their place will rule wise priest kings, masters of the Ariosophical mysticism, and leaders of the chivalrous and spiritual orders. As long as we hold to the three, the brotherhood of Thule shall rule. The Black Eagle is the symbol of the Thule. The Black Eagle rises from a blanket of flames,
Comfy.
which warns us that we must die in order to live.
Very scary.
Our order is Teutonic order. Loyalty is also Teutonic. Our way is the way of the Trinity. Wotan, Willie, we is the unity of the Trinity. The power is contained in the three.
I just, at this point, if I heard this on the street, I'm just going to start throwing quarters at whoever's talking. Like, all right, dude, whatever. If you need to get home, I'll give you a ride, I guess. All right, so this is our initial crime report. Looks like this date occurred 11/12/41.
Harassment.
At
Finster Munitions Plant. I don't remember there being a...
Oh no, yeah, we have one in East Ohio. There's a munition plant out there. Still there.
I don't remember there being one in Cleveland, but
I'll take a look. Maybe it's just made up for the game.
Anyways, victim Henry Finster. Date of birth 6/25/1895. So he's gonna be mid-40s. Oh, age 46. Yeah. Race white, sex male. Lives Roosevelt Avenue, Cleveland,
it's just made up. It's made up for this game.
Okay. Absolutely nothing about discovered by the accused, unknown. Age 30 to 35. Height 6 foot, weight 180, red hair, blue-green eyes. No pictures, no fingerprints. H. Finster files compliant regarding alleged Nazi recruitment. Cause of complaint is a flyer passed out at Finster Munitions Plant by unknown messenger. After review of flyer and interrogation of plaintiff, Nazi recruitment deemed unlikely in case given low priority. Plaintiff became verbally abusive when informed of such, forwarding complaint to COI offices.
And that's somebody named Peter. I can't read that. I'm not great at reading cursive.
M Minilo? Because it looks like an M. I'm gonna say, well, there's no dot, so maybe an E.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
So it's not classified information.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so now that's one thing is this inventory system does have like object manipulation, but I guess it's only for specific objects.
Okay. So, anyways, we found a key.
And this is also from the same people who made Ripper, which is another game that has mystery vibe to it. It's got Christopher Walken in it. But I actually have this game. All 8 CDs.
Okay.
You just right click for
How
your
do we key from gun? Use. Excellent.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Walt, we finally
so
received the list from the FBI, but of course
Hey,
there's
my
an
birthday.
encrypted number associated with each of the names. Keep it under your hat, but I want you to see what you can do about cracking their code. They may be keeping important information from us. Okay.
This is just T9 texting.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it looks like that might be the idea, but there's probably more behind it than that.
Although, interestingly, fun historical fact,
Mm-hmm.
notice there's no Q. Q was uncommon enough letter for the different area code things that it wasn't put on phones until much later.
Wow. Yeah, so that means that the phone numbers in this era will actually be without the area code. So there's no 216. Yeah, this was from the era where you just dialed numbers. Or you call an operator. This looks like it might be important for later.
Yeah, probably. I was just kind of taking a look.
Actually, can I take that really quick? I want to try. Let's see if that worked. I'm going to try something here, Nick. It just opens up this big white blocks. Okay. Let's see if that did it. It did. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to cut something out for us. Okay, page from bookshelf. Back Dahlia. Here we go. I'll print that out for next week when we have papers. So I want to put papers up here so you can see them on the side, Nick.
Okay.
So I can bring up clues and stuff without having to dig through a bunch of things. But I just took a picture and saved it for now.
Cool. What's this?
What a bunch of gibberish.
Mr. Pence.
Mr. Pensky, I'm very intrigued by your message and am indeed interested in examining the artifacts that you describe. Please call me as soon as possible. I feel that these items may be of critical importance to your investigation. Dr. Strauss. So obviously we're going to need to figure out how to contact this
What a bunch of
Strauss
gibberish.
because that seems to maybe be something that's going on here. Is that? Nope, that's that.
Okay. Well then. We have some clues for things for later. We haven't actually went and talked to anybody yet. We've just been digging around. This is our office, by the way. We haven't left this at all.
Okay, we should probably do that. I'm trying to figure, just as a side note,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, I noticed, I think I kind of forgot to mention this when I was first looking at this. But we've got this map of Ohio going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck the lines are because
Those are probably
They
roads.
make no sense. Maybe?
Those are probably just main roads. This is before the interstate system got big, wasn't it? So those roads would be pretty old. And those red pins, I'm assuming, have something to do with the murders. So I got some near Cincinnati, some to the east of
But that's
Columbus.
too high for Cincinnati. Well, I mean, it's kind of near Cincinnati.
It's close
Cincinnati
enough.
is on the river.
Yeah, it's close enough.
It's more Dayton-ish.
Ugh. That side of Ohio is just not my
But
favorite.
it's weird, like, because, like, I feel like this, like, the various darker blobs seem to be, like, cities, because you've got, like, presumably Cleveland
Mhm.
and Toledo, but also, like,
Dayton.
but not Cincinnati. And I feel like it's been a while since I stared at a Ohio map, but I feel like if this is supposed to be Columbus, it's too far to the west. Presumably Akron, Canton, Toledo. Not Toledo. Youngstown.
Yep, Youngstown. The train town with a bar that hosts a lot of weird celebrity music guests on the download. I don't know why. I don't know what's so popular about that bar. But they do show up. They just do it unannounced.
Nothing on the push board. Okay. So we've got Sullivan's office and my office.
Let's go talk to the
were just
boss.
Yes.
Sorry to bother you, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Pearson. Come right in.
Okay.
And you can click and drag around this scene as well.
Sir, what happened to the fellow I'm replacing?
Walter Pensky. Good man. And a good agent. Once. The job got the better of him.
I imagine he must have been under a lot of pressure, sir.
We all are these days. Just remember, Mr. Pearson, we follow orders, not personal crusades.
I will, sir. I have a question about this case file, sir.
Certainly. What is it?
Yeah, ask him about that thing in the... Yeah, ask him about that. Maybe the paper behind it? There must be something on this... Oh.
Who handled this case when it first came in, sir?
A city detective named Marillo. I guess he's got his hands full now. He's handling the Torso murders investigation. Terrible work, that. They found another one just yesterday.
Sir, this munitions owner, Mr. Finster, is there anything you can tell me about him that wasn't in the report?
Hank Finster is an interesting case. He's an important man with the fellows in the Defense Department on account of the munitions factories he owns. But he's not wound all too tight, if you catch my meaning. Well, it's always one thing after another with him. If it isn't the unions, it's the Reds. If it isn't the Reds, it's the Nazis. But he may have something there. Take a look at that invitation. What do you make of it?
Let's take a look. No longer permits. Yeah, it does look expensive. Especially back then.
This invitation's a little odd, and I bet it didn't come cheap. I'd wager this Brotherhood's pretty well set, whoever they are. And I don't imagine they're out to recruit just anyone.
Good eye, son. It's a fascist tract, all right, but it's one that's aimed at the high-born in our society. Whoever's behind this, they're likely to have some backing, and that's going to make your investigation all the more dangerous. You'll need to be careful.
I will, sir.
I believe it. Our character seems like a straight edge, very no nonsense guy, cut right to the chase, very nervous about his job.
Well, it sounds like he's
Fresh.
This is like his first.
Yeah, I get sent to
job
Cleveland, and
after
the
the
first thing he
academy.
hears is like, oh yeah, there's like a bunch of people being chopped up and hidden around the city. It's like, okay, well, I thought I was investigating Nazi. Oh, yeah, you are. It's just weird that that's also happening. He's like, oh, okay. Should I be worried, though? Have a good one. Yeah, 8 CDs. It looks like that's all you can show him.
Okay.
Unless there's something on the paper itself. I don't see anything to click on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just back out of
And
it.
I was looking across this, and it didn't seem like there was anything else
Okay,
to click on with it. So
let's go talk to our guy.
there we go. Ooh.
Just poke around your boss's private stuff. I actually used to do that at my job, though. We'd be in the office, and he'd be like, oh, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh, yeah, I updated the thing. Just start opening up his drawers. He's like, oh, yeah, I used to throw all my cool stuff in there, and I'm just, like, going through it.
Okay, so.
But I was cool with
we've
my boss, so, you know.
Just
being nosy.
Sullivan. Oh, no.
You can go to Mr. Finster's office, the munition guy, or you can go to the police station, which is where we're going.
Come in. Excuse me, Detective Marillo? I'm Jim Pearson. I'm from the COI. I'm here about Mr. Finster's complaint.
A what? This had better be good, kid. I'm up to my neck in murders.
I mean, I think the murders are also, up to the neck as well.
Yeah, that's where they get cut off, I think. Well, we can always ask him. He's got a picture of the west of the United States for some reason. Maybe he hopes to one day go to California.
Wait.
What you looking for?
I don't know. Just looking around. Oh, here's our, northeastern U.S. / northern Ohio map.
Well, we're in Cleveland, so this guy's office is probably downtown. I've never been in the Cleveland Police Department downtown. I've been to the Justice Center doing jury duty, but I've never been in one of their offices before.
I almost got called to jury duty for the federal court in Cleveland.
You were the detective that handled Mr. Finster's complaint?
Finster. Oh, yeah, Finster. I remember him now. Listen, kid. If I had a nickel for every so-called Nazi spy in this city, I would be a very rich man.
So you don't think his complaint was legitimate?
Ever since you secret agent types start stirring people up about Nazi spies, every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a beef about his neighbors has been into my office. You care to take a guess how many of them panned out?
Well, what did your investigation reveal? Was there anything to the invitation? You did investigate this, didn't you?
Now listen, Sonny! There's a butcher on the loose in my city. I didn't have time. Hey, isn't that sort of thing your job now? I don't have time to babysit another Fed.
Detective, I understand you must be very busy right now.
You don't understand nothing. Every day, it seems, we find another body or a part of a body. We don't have enough good leads, and we don't have enough men to cover this case. And on top of that, I got some horse's ass from the Federal Bureau of Investigation looking over my shoulder trying to tell me how to do my job.
I'm sorry to have bothered you, Detective. I'll be on my way.
This case is gonna be the death of me yet. For what it's worth, kid, Finster had a look at the mugshot books. He said he spotted the Joe what handed him that screwy invitation. I think he even marked the books and everything. You can have a look through them if you think it'll help.
Thank you, Detective.
What about the torso murders?
Are you any closer to catching the torso killer?
That sick son of a bitch has been too clever.
How's that?
Well, for starters, he's not leaving enough behind for us to identify. Our best guess is he's cutting up bums and whores, people nobody'd miss. Takes them apart real clean, too, like a doctor. 2 whacks and he's through them. The queerest thing is, he bleeds them dry, washes them clean, and wraps them up like a butcher, all nice and neat in newspapers. It's like nothing I've ever seen, and I've seen plenty.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time before something breaks through.
Oh, you got that right. His kind always slips up. And when he does, bang! I'm gonna be right there on top of him.
He's gonna take a bite out of crime.
Interestingly, for the Rio Torso murders, I've heard the idea that possibly whoever did it was like railroad employee, and that they were basically commit murders, catch next train out of town, and that's why they never seem to get caught. But anyways,
hasn't the FBI been able to give you any relief with the Torso investigation?
Ah, that's a good one, kid. Elliot Ness has saddled me with a junior AG man named Winslow, who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. About all he's done is look pretty in his fancy suits for the photo boys and flapped his gums to the reporters about how he is gonna catch that killer.
Doesn't seem too happy about this guy.
Yeah. I think we have taken up. Oh,
Let's take a look at these case files.
oh, this is
This
the
must be the
book you
one
mentioned.
Finster looked through.
Okay. Let's...
Oh, this is okay. So this must be just the these are the usual suspects. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it seems like it. That guy just straight up looks like he's from a Dreamcast game. Jeff Lebowski's got the squarest haircut you've ever seen. I'm assuming we'll probably find out more to be able to help us identify it. Because I feel like we're missing something here.
Did we grab something?
Oh, we grabbed a stationary.
Finster stationary.
Wait a minute, he's got the same... Isn't that shield isn't also on the inventory? Oh, wait, because he got the invitation to it. That makes sense. Yeah, top left. One over.
Oh, there you go. Interesting.
And he's the one that brought the complaint about these guys giving the invitation. Interesting. Okay.
Do I get is? Oh no, this is just a piece of stationery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's go visit him.
Okay.
I think it also has his phone number on there too if we need to call.
You have a fax.
Oh, we have a fax. Oh, it's Sunshine. Hey, how's it going? It is Nick and Crow. And then Psyduck.
Okay, who are we? Finster.
It's 1941 Cleveland.
Excuse me, could you tell me where Mr. Finster's office is?
He's up there. You're welcome.
Excuse me, Mr. Finster? Jim Pearson from the COI. I've been assigned to investigate your complaint.
Ah, what the hell took you so long? I guess all my calls to Mayor Lausch finally got you guys off your cans.
Well, I mean, I just got here, man. You don't have to be mean. Agent Pearson is a good boy. He doesn't hurt anybody. He just wants to solve Nazi crimes.
I don't even know that he wants to solve Nazi crimes. That's just kind of where he's ended up.
No, that's why he wanted to join. Remember in the intro, he was like looking for adventure. He's young, you know. I haven't even seen him open up a cigarette, which is weird in this era. You think everybody'd be
fancy sealing.
Very. Yeah, the POV is pretty cool. Interesting. Didn't even ask him a question, and we're just looking at his stuff. We're like, so what do you want? Just walks over to his photos. Doesn't say a word. Okay, he likes classic German art, I guess. It's not, I mean, that's to be expected. He's got like a German coat of arms behind him.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the man that gave you that invitation, Mr. Finster?
He's a no-good bum, I remember that.
Do you remember his name?
Hey, guy employed a Nazi sympathizer right here in my own factory.
He was an employee of yours?
Of course not. I don't hire Nazis.
I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. Who's the Nazi?
Why did they send a boy to do a man's job? What are they trying to do? Drive me crazy?
Wait just a minute, Mr. Finster. That's not called for.
My foreman, George Hansen. I used to think he was a good man. Well, drinks a little bit too much, but he's a hard worker. Well, anyway, how am I supposed to know he traffics with Nazis? Well, he brings this riffraff right through my doors, into my factory, right into my office. He could have killed me. He was standing as close to me as you are right now. Well, naturally, I fired him on the spot.
Riffraff.
No, you idiot. George Hansen. Haven't you been listening to a word I said?
Do you remember the name of the man that gave you that invitation?
Of course not. He never mentioned it. He said he was just a messenger.
Can you describe this messenger for me?
I already described him to that detective. Look, I even picked his photograph out of one of their books. Oh, but he didn't care. All he was interested in was that vagrant killer. Well, if you ask me, he's doing this city a big favor.
I wouldn't know anything about that, sir. Can you describe him again for me, please? For my benefit.
You know, if you guys had done your work in the first place, you'd already know this. Yeah, he looked like a killer. Real mean, squinty eyes, red hair, and the bushiest red beard you'd ever want to see. Hey, there's no mistaking this guy.
It's big red hair, big bushy beard.
Do you have any idea where I might be able to find this messenger?
Of course not.
Okay, what about this other fellow, the foreman?
Well, I used to live in company housing, but I had him evicted, of course.
Do you have any idea where I might be able to find him?
A man of my standing doesn't fraternize with his workers. Although, I have been told that George likes to throw his money around a lot on payday. The men, they like this cheap whiskey saloon in the Roaring Third. McGillies, McGarrity's, some kind of Mick name. McGinty's, that's the name of it, McGinty's.
McGinty's. I wonder if that's a real bar still. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, go for it.
What can you tell me about this brotherhood, Mr. Finster?
What can I tell you? Oh, what makes you think I can tell you anything? I'll tell you what it is, though. It's a Nazi conspiracy is what it is.
No, what makes you say that, Mr. Finster? The
I knew it sounded
invitation
familiar.
has no swastikas, no insignia, no clear-cut signs
Is
of
it,
Nazi involvement.
Now, you mark my words, young man. This is a
said
Nazi
something about a third.
conspiracy,
Is it
or
on,
my
like,
name
either
isn't Henry
this third or
W.
left third?
Finster.
I'm gonna need some hard facts before I'm able to make that
No.
stick with my superior, sir.
Where do they find you guys? What do they just pull you out of a pumpkin patch? It's right before your eyes.
It's in Lakewood, so it's not on
Those
Third.
screwy symbols.
You recognize the symbols on that invitation?
I've seen them all over Germany.
When were you in Germany, Mr. Finster?
Now, don't you give me that look.
Mr. Finster, I...
There is nothing wrong with Germany. My grandparents were born in Deutschland. We still have family there. The German people are upstanding, hard-working, God-fearing folk, and the American worker could learn a thing or two from them. The only thing wrong with Germany is that Austrian peasant and his gang of street thugs.
My apologies, Mr. Finster. I am only trying to establish the facts in the case.
Okay. It's been 15, 20 years now since I've been there. But I will never forget those symbols.
Do you have any idea what those symbols mean?
Of course not. I would never have anything to do with that sort of thing.
Mr.
Well, that
what about
was,
the thing behind him? You can click on it.
Oh, we can.
Okay. Well, that was not helpful. But yeah,
I'm
McGinty's
assuming-
is a real pub, and I know I've seen it before because we've driven by it a couple times. It's over in Lakewood. It's over. It's
okay.
over in Madison Avenue.
What is that? Like, obviously, it's a gun of some sort.
It looks like an MP40, or a very early variation of it. But I can't tell. It's very pixelated.
Anyways, okay, so I guess, wait, there wasn't something here, was there? No. Okay. Actually.
And I just pulled up the images from the inside just so we can compare it. Or I can compare it. So let's take a look at McGinty's now. In 1941.
Actually, hold on 1 second. Because
We have never
saved.
yeah, we haven't saved in a while.
It has been.
And there's pages. We're on page 1 of our save files.
Okay. Anyways.
Let's check out McGinty's. I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the McGinty's of the present you don't have to walk down into. Yeah, this is like a basement bar. It's not obviously the McGinty's of 1941 probably moved from 3rd Street. It was probably in downtown area. I doubt it though.
Now for the day's news. Our top story today comes straight from the tough and tumble neighborhood of Kingsbury Run. There, the police continue their exhaustive manhunt for the torso killer. As his head count hits 7, the citizens of Cleveland raise their voices in protest. Meanwhile, the city police have been baffled by this insidious madman's terrible work. The latest victim, discovered by 2 children playing along the banks of the Cuyahoga River, remains unidentified. Meanwhile, in news from around the world, our boys at sea captured an Axis ship in equatorial waters.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man named George Hansen. He used to be...
I never heard of him.
Listen, buddy, I'm not trying to cause any trouble for you. I just need a little help trying to find a friend of mine.
Yeah, friend, huh? Look, I got nothing to do with no lousy feds. I want you to do me a favor and scram, huh? And while you're at it, take that friend over there with you. You're scaring away all my business.
Was too smart to fall for such a trick, however, and he immediately ordered the ship to heave to. Despite a last-ditch effort by the Axis merchantmen to blow up their own ship, their vessel was captured without incident. In other global news, snow and near-zero weather in Russia halted Nazi troops dead in their tracks. More bad news for the Axis as the British began an offensive in North Africa along the 130-mile Libya line.
That guy just straight up looks like a German spy. Like, he's straight up sitting, like, he just looks like the stereotypical James Bond German spy. Oh, God. Is this our guy?
What's your name?
Who wants to know?
My name's Jim Pearson. I'm from the COI.
This is...
Well, have a seat, Jimbo. The name's Winslow. Dick Winslow.
Oh.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Winslow. What brings you here?
Oh, no need to be so formal. You can call me Dick. I'm just here for a drink.
Really? This just doesn't seem like your type of place.
Oh, and why not? Can't a working Joe like me go out for a drink? Can't he try someplace new?
Well, you just seem a little overdressed, is all.
Guilty as charged, sport. Not a bad bit of deduction, that. Oh, well, I might as well confess. You're right. I'm with the FBI.
Really? What are you doing here?
Staking the place out. I thought I might get a lead on the torso killer, but I haven't had much luck yet. But you're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, I just started.
Oh, you don't say? And what brings you here to McGinty's, Jimbo?
Well, I'm working on an investigation of my own.
Oh, really? How interesting. Did someone steal some plans for a secret weapon? Huh? Or commit an act of sabotage, perhaps?
No, nothing like that. I'm looking into a group of possible German subversives.
Well, perhaps your men are on our little German blacklist. You mean they haven't told you about that? Your office should have a copy. Really, I'd complain to my superiors right away. How can a new agent hope to succeed without the necessary tools?
What is this list?
It's a list of suspicious Americans of German descent. FBI's been keeping tabs on them for a while now. Oh, it wouldn't take much for some of them to sell out Uncle Sam for, Uncle Adolf, huh?
Thanks for the information, Dick. This list might come in handy.
You have a fax.
Well, I should be going now.
Listen, sport. You're new here, so I'll give you one little bit of free advice. Some of the people in your department have stepped on some toes, so, you be careful where you put your foot down.
I'll remember that.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Jimbo. Hey, drop by my office anytime.
Thanks, Dick. I just may take you up on that.
Don't believe him, Pearson. Your gold heart cannot be melted by this man's obviously weird spy energy. Also, hey, Cookie Mama, how's it going? 52 months is a long time. We just started this one. It's called Black Dahlia. It actually has 8 CDs. So we're on CD 1. I put CD 1 on the hard drive, but when it goes to CD 2, I think it's going to ask us whenever we get there.
I was trying to remember because, like, I forget who was talking about, like, multiple CDs earlier. I had Battlefront 2, and by Battlefront 2, I mean, like, the first Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Ask about Special Agent Winslow.
I met Special Agent Winslow in McGinney's bar. If he's the best the FBI has to offer you, well, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
What the hell was he doing in McGinty's bar? Oh, pressing the palms of the less fortunate for when he runs for mayor?
Well, he said he was working undercover, trying to track down a lead on the torso killer. He stood out like a sore thumb.
He's about as likely to find the killer in McGinty's as my grandmother is to win the Kentucky Derby.
Oops.
Ah, there it is.
There we go.
Oh, there's one guy with red hair, red beard. Well, can't tell if his hair is red, but it's definitely got a big beard.
On the other hand, Robert O'Malley. Yeah, that, not to stereotype at all, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm Irish descent. Runs in my family. Go back.
Oh.
That guy at the top right corner who looks like an actor with a headshot, named Louis Fisher.
Yeah, can also do that.
Yeah, I said Jeff Lebowski just straight up looks like he has like Dreamcast 3D graphics face. Yeah, so who are the 2 guys we need to write down? Douglas D. Moore.
I'm going to add, actually, Douglas D. Moore, so we're going to have 3. Okay. Just because Finster mentioned violence and assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, and attempted murder. Does seem a tad violent. So that's going to be number 3. Number 2 was Louis Fisher.
The only reason why I'm feeling like Fisher is because he straight up looks like an actor. He doesn't look like a bad guy. Like everyone else looks like bad guys. He straight up looks like an actor.
I get the context clues that you're picking up on.
Yeah, because like all of these are like old photographs of like people that probably.
The other one was Robert O'Malley.
Yeah, his the one that stands out because it straight up looks like someone took a photo in like 1995 or something.
Okay.
But I'm also a weirdo, so it's probably just me seeing there something that's not actually there. Sullivan's office, so we can get that list.
Yes.
Yes?
Sorry to bother you, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Pearson. Come right in.
Sir, is it true that the FBI's made a list of suspicious German Americans?
Who have you been talking to?
Special Agent Winslow, sir.
Oh, yes, Agent Winslow. It's true, we do have such a list. When France fell to the Germans, a lot of people felt that it must be due to the work of a fifth column of spies and traitors. It got the boys in Washington thinking that if we weren't careful, things might happen the same way here. Well, Mr. Hoover and his FBI set to work, watching anyone they felt could betray their own countrymen. Naturally, important Americans of German descent were watched most closely.
Could I get a look at it, sir? I believe there might be a connection between some of the names on that list and the case that I'm investigating.
Just remember, son, it's possible that any of these men on that list are hard-working Americans, no different than you or I. Don't go off all half-cocked simply because Hoover's men put a name on a list.
Yes, sir.
Very responsible. Let's take a look at that list.
Right click for inventory.
So, blacklist.
Blacklist. There we go. Oh, it's in alphabetical order. Nice.
Is it in alphabetical order? Because it doesn't look like it to me.
No. The inventory list.
Oh, I was gonna say because I was actually looking at the names. I was like, nah, that's not in alphabetical. All right, so let's see if we can see anybody who stands out. And it looked like you could scroll. Hey, Carl Strauss down at the bottom.
Oh, that was the artifact guy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Write that number down.
Yeah. Are you doing it or do I need
to? Let me go ahead and do one of these because I'm gonna have it in my hand. Makes it a lot easier for me to read. But yeah. This game's awesome. I like the kind of not only is the acting really good, but like all of the puzzles feel like something I would actually be doing in a investigation. It's pretty good. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Ah, there we go. And I'm going to scroll up as well so I can get the names to the top. Yeah, there we go. Making a list, I'm checking it twice. Some of these guys are naughty and nice. We're gonna shoot them with a 38. The 38 we found at our desk, by the way. So one thing our previous person, whoever had this case before us, at least left their gun.
It is nice to have firepower.
Yeah.
And small 38 like that, easily concealable, especially with all the jackets happening. On the other hand, hopefully it's not too big of a firefight that we find ourselves in.
Okay.
Probably not getting the nature of the game.
We're gonna need to probably double check the list of names in the what do you call it? In that book at the office to see if we see anybody in here. Well, let's rule out anyone who's not in Cleveland. Let's just rule that out because we know we're not going to go to Chicago.
True.
So we can at least do that. There's got to be somebody in here who looks familiar. None of these sound familiar. We'll have to check that book again.
I think it's just the doctor.
No, I saw another name in that book.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Unless I'm just misremembering, which is perfectly, within the realm of possibility here. Oops. So yeah, let's take a look at this book. So he's not going to be in O'Malley. We're looking for people of German descent. Lewis Fielder, Lewis Felding.
I didn't notice aliases. But I didn't see. Definitely didn't see a Fisher. I don't think I saw
Felding.
any other Fs.
I feel like I'm just like, I need like a magnifying glass so I could just like go over this. Remember like that Sherlock Holmes game had that? Yeah. I always liked it when they did that. Fielder or Fielding. I don't see that name in there. Did you?
Mm-mm. No, I did not.
Wait a minute. Finster Stationery. Harry W. Fleischer? Finster. Do you see his name on here?
But he's too rich to be considered, suspicious.
Oh my god, there's another page.
Oh, oops.
Anyway, there he is, good old Henry Finster right at the top there. That's the guy we just met, so I'm doing another picture of this, but yeah. So that's the top one. Anybody else?
No, still no Fisher from the book.
Yeah. But hey, whatever that number is, I'm sure it's super important.
Oh, you're still doing your screenshot.
Yeah. I'm gonna print these out on paper so I can hold it in my hand. There we go. I'm gonna do this for the next stream, so that way I just have them in my lap. Okay. Mainly because there's a lot of information in this game from what I could see, a lot of text. So I'm just gonna start printing it out and then, drawing over it and highlighting stuff I don't think is important.
Exit Mike.
Oh, yeah, you got this.
There you go.
You got this, Nick.
Anders, Timur wasn't on it. Wabowski wasn't. Sneeden, no.
All right. One more page, I think.
Presumably brothers. Anyways, so I think, because I think I'm about at my limit for today.
Okay. Well, let's save the game.
Yes. But anyways, I think our next thing.
Call the doctor.
There we go. Yes, I think.
Call the doctor.
Calling the doctor should be our next step, since I think.
Okay, so this is game interface stuff.
I don't know, I guess that was case number that we have, not a phone number, but
I want to okay, so there's a few more people here who didn't get a chance to see this, so I'm going to just do it. This is actually an Easter egg because when I first started the game, it was just like really fast, so here it is.
Do you mind? Would you cut that out?
Yes, sorry. Anyway, that's Black Dahlia. And I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with us. We'll be back again, hopefully, on Monday with the continuation of, darn, what is the name? Old Skies. Because that's the time travel one where Mecha totally just killed a whole bunch of people. So we're going to be doing that on Monday. So what do you think of this game so far, Nick?
It's interesting. I'm interested, it seems like pretty good so far. I'm interested to see where it ends up.
Yeah.
Seems to be well made, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of information. But yeah, next stream I'm going to have all that stuff printed out just so I can have it in my lap. And I don't know, seems like a fun thing to do. So anyway, you guys have a good one. We'll see you again next time here on the Courtesy Flush. So until then, take care. And we'll see you next time here on the Courtesy Flush.